The Great Eastern Railway E-22 were a lighter version of their T-18s, and successful in their own right as light passenger engines. The Great Eastern had used effectively the T-18 pattern by James Holden with small changes to suit different types of work, and called it different classes. S.D. Holden, James Holden's third son, had taken up his place on the Great Eastern Railway, and in 1909 he was tasked with replacing his father's E-22s. What would come of this were a class of absolutely tiny 242Ts, the Y-65s, and later the F-7s. This will be our subject for today. Also, not every picture I'm going to put on screen in this video will be perfectly related, but I wanted to keep from being as boring as last video. So, in 1909, S.D. Holden designed this little thing, the F7. It had a tiny 160 psi boiler, 3 foot 11.5 inch diameter, and similarly small driving wheels at 4 foot 10 inches. They had large, comfortable cabs, Westinghouse air brakes, and a tractive effort of just 11.6 thousand pounds. The only thing about these engines which wasn't tiny were their cabs, and it turns out that the engines they were meant to replace were just better for their work. As a result, this little class of 12 would be pushed around quite a bit. While their small size and poor adhesion were concerning, they weren't all that highly respected, though they could put out some serious work when they needed to. On one occasion, an F7 pulled a 10-coach train when the engine meant for it had failed. As I said, they moved around a lot over the LNER network, with some going into Scotland. The entire class operated from 1909 to 1931, when the slow withdrawal of the class began. 4 of the engines were given push-pull equipment, and the entire class proved highly effective for little munitions movements. They may never have been popular, but they'd have been useful anywhere they went. Light goods, light passenger work, and of course, with visibility this good, shunting would be easy enough. They just didn't have enough power to survive as long as Stroudley's tank engines, and by the time BR came around, there were only 2 left. The same year, those last 2 were withdrawn, with a total lifespan of 39 years. Impressive for tiny engines which couldn't find a home. Now, the reason I made a video on these engines, and this is going off script, is because I love the way that they look. I mean, come on, look at it. It's so cute. I know I say this a lot, but I really wish I could have one. Big cab, tiny footprint. I can only imagine this thing could have been a fantastic dock shunter. Thanks for watching.